Good morning children. Today we are coming to our third lesson, that is coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry means it is a branch of mathematics. In this you will know the position of the point. To know the position of the point you need two numbers. Those two numbers are called coordinates. So the position of the points on the plane is defined with the help of an ordered pair of numbers, also known as coordinates. René Descartes, the great French mathematician of the 17th century, developed this. One day when he was lying on his bed, he saw a spider making cobwebs. So you know how the spider makes cobwebs. So to understand the position of this spider, from that wall how far it is and from this side how far it is. Suppose in your house you have a dining table. Sometimes the dining table will be at the center of the dining hall and sometimes we move it to a corner. When we move it to a corner also, we see some positioning in that. From that side how far it is, from this side how far it is. So coordinate geometry means it denotes the position of an object. In honor of Descartes, the system used for describing the position of a point in a plane, it is also known as the Cartesian system. To locate the position of a point or object in a plane, we require two perpendicular lines. One is horizontal and the other one is vertical. Now you take horizontal line. It is just like ordinary number line. Center you have 0, right side you have all positive numbers, left side all negative numbers. So this horizontal line is called x-axis. Now when you come to vertical line, already you know in integers you have the number line. When the number line is vertical, 0 up you have positive values, 0 down you have negative values. This vertical line is called the y-axis. Now next you see this. When we keep the horizontal line and vertical line together, the 0 of the horizontal line and the 0 of the vertical line will coincide with each other. So this is horizontal line, it is called x-axis. The right side you have x positive values, left side you have x negative values. This is the vertical line, it is coinciding with the horizontal axis at O. 0 up you have all positive values, 0 down you have negative values. This is called vertical line and it is called y-axis. So this horizontal line and the vertical line, they are intersecting at a point O. This point is called origin. Its coordinates are 0, 0. That means x is also 0 and y is also 0. So the coordinates of the origin are 0, 0. So here this fully is called a plane. This plane is divided into 4 parts by these two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis. So this is, each part is called a quadrant. So this is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. When you look in first quadrant, here x is also positive and y is also positive. So x value also, first one is x value, second one is y value. So x is also positive, y is also positive. When you come to second quadrant, here x is negative and y is positive. When you come to third quadrant, x is also negative and y is also negative. When you come to fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. So the coordinate axis divides the plane into 4 parts called quadrants. The quadrants of a point are in the form of plus plus in first quadrant, minus plus in second quadrant, minus comma minus in third quadrant, and plus comma minus in fourth quadrant. Now when you look into this, the distance of a point from y-axis, this is y-axis, the distance from y-axis is called x-coordinate. The distance from x-axis is called y-coordinate. And x-coordinate is called abscissa. First point is called abscissa and second coordinate is called ordinate. So x value is called abscissa, y value is called ordinate. Abscissa is a point of x and ordinate is a point of y. Then x, y are called the coordinates of the point. First point is x, second point is y. So this is x-axis. On x-axis, any point on x-axis is of the form x comma 0. That means here the distance from y-axis, suppose if you take a point 2 on x-axis, the distance from y-axis is 2 suppose. So this will be 2 comma 0. Suppose if you take this point on y-axis, so the distance from x-axis is 5 units. So its coordinate is 0 comma 5. So the coordinate of a point on x-axis is of the form x comma 0. The coordinate of a point on the y-axis is of the form 0 comma y. X coordinate is not equal to y coordinate, then xy is not equal to yx. And xy is equal to yx if x is equal to y. The position of xy is different from the position of yx if x is not equal to y. So here when you draw a graph or in the graph, the order of x coordinate and y coordinate is important in x comma y. That's why here the order is important. That's why the point x comma y is called an ordered pair. Now when you look at this, suppose here you have a point first P. The distance from x-axis is 2 units. The distance from y-axis is 2 units and the distance from x-axis is 3 units. So this point is at 2 comma 3. This point is 2 comma 3. 2 is nothing but the distance from y-axis. From here to here, the distance from y-axis, that is the perpendicular distance from y-axis. And the perpendicular distance from x-axis is 3. That's why the position of this point is P2 comma 3. 2 is x coordinate and 3 is y coordinate. 2 is called abscissa, 3 is called ordinate. Now next, when you take a point Q, when you take a point Q, the distance from y-axis, if you see, it is minus 4. The distance from x-axis is 3. So this point is at minus 4 comma 3. Here x value is called abscissa and y value is called ordinate. The perpendicular distance from y-axis is minus 4 units and the perpendicular distance from x-axis is 3. Next, when you take the point R, here the distance from y-axis is minus 2 and the distance from minus 2 and the distance from y-axis is minus 4. So the position of this point is minus 2 comma minus 4. So abscissa is minus 2 and ordinate is minus 4. When you take the point S, this is the perpendicular distance from y-axis is 4. So its x coordinate is 4 and the perpendicular distance from x-axis is minus 2. So its ordinate is minus 2. So here abscissa is 4 and ordinate is minus 2. Next, when you take this point is on x-axis. So the perpendicular distance from y-axis is 3 and from x-axis there is no distance. That's why it is 0. When you take a point S, the perpendicular distance from y-axis is minus 5 and from x-axis there is no distance, so it is 0. Or we can say the point is on x-axis, so its y value will be 0. Now suppose if you take this point on y-axis, here on y-axis x value is 0. From x axis there is no perpendicular distance, so it is 0. And from x-axis the perpendicular distance is 5. So it is 0, 5. So here from y-axis there is no perpendicular distance, so it is 0. And from x-axis the perpendicular distance is 5. So this point is 0, 5. Sorry, I have told earlier in a reverse order. Here the perpendicular distance from y-axis is x coordinate. Here there is no perpendicular distance from y-axis, so it is 0. And here the perpendicular distance from x-axis is 5 units, so y value is 5. So abscissa is 0 and y is equal to 5.